This is the Triple Play Fantasy Basketball Show. I'm your host, Coach James Lewis, trying my best to help you win your fantasy basketball league. As you know, last year I was in two leagues. I I took gold on both of those. No stranger to gold too. I badminton tournament big time yesterday. Took home a plaque, county champions. So playing my hand at coaching badminton. I found my calling, Kev. Maybe I
Well,
should let go of the basketball team.
man, you East Coast people got me laughing out there. Badminton coaches, all this stuff. Like we don't have that kind of thing in California. We don't have no badminton team out here. But is there a bowling team out there in Baltimore as well, or no?
A bowl Sunday evenings, 9 p.m. No, just kidding. But yeah, of course. And who doesn't want to take the kids out and bowl a little bit? I'm sure
It's
you got some
expensive.
obscure sports over there.
And we play real sports out here in Cali. I don't know what you guys are playing out there. We play basketball, baseball, football, boys volleyball is fun. That may be the skiers you guys get. Field hockey. I like me some field hockey as well.
Yeah, cornhole seems like
Cornhole.
it. Yeah, cornhole's
Yeah, cornhole.
a big one. All right, and you heard the voice. My co-host, friend, someone who knows hoops, Kevin Coleman. You can find him at @theboys_22. He's a Cowboys fan. I'm a Washington football fan. We don't always get along, but we offer different perspectives, in which I'm right more times than he is. What's up, Kev?
Hey man, I'm glad to be here. Talk a little fantasy basketball, and you and me are actually in a league together right now, and so it is a big thing that we want to try to build here at Triple Play. Talk about fantasy, get on that because I think there's not enough out there for you guys. So if we can provide something for you guys, just little tips, and it's tough. It's a tough league, and it's tough to manage every week. And so anytime you need help, obviously you can listen to the pod or the show on YouTube, or you can find us on Twitter where we can find us and we can answer your questions here. And I will say, Coach is very good at fantasy basketball, so I'm going to give him some props there. He might be wrong on his takes, like in terms of just basketball, but he's pretty good at fantasy basketball.
I try my best in both avenues, but it's still fantasy. It's still luck involved in you do your
Yeah,
research, but at the same time, injuries happen, trades happen. People refuse to get vaccines or just refuse to come to the training training facility, a la Ben Simmons and Kyrie Irving. So like, there's just a lot that goes on in fantasy basketball. And our perspective here is more category driven. There are point leagues, roto leagues. I enjoy the category because I feel like it gives everyone a chance every week, and it's more of a, to me, the more fun method. Um, Kevin and I are in our ESPN league and is an auction league, so very kind of rare in a way, but that's 9 cats, and I run a Yahoo league as well, which is a snake draft. 3 pickups a week, and you got to utilize them. So week one is in the books. We're gonna take a look at week two waiver wire pickups. Pick them up now. If you still have pickups for the end of the week, Sunday is a great day to pick up because you can utilize kind of last week's pickups and still have your three for the next. Every league is different. Knowing the rules is huge. But we're gonna start with people you need to pick up if they are not rostered today. And starting with Ben Simmons no show equals Tyrese Maxey to the forefront. People are picking up on this. At the beginning of last week, I think it was like 35% rostered. He's now at 65% rostered, and these percentages are based on Yahoo, who hasn't picked up. He is point guard, shooting guard eligible at this moment in the season. 35 minutes a game, and that's what you really want to look at is usage rates, yes, but also who's playing. And Tyrese Maxey is now your starter in Philadelphia, 17.5 points per game. He rebounds 4.5, 3.5 assists. This is of course off to like 2 games. He's shooting a good percentage, and he gives you some threes. You wanna definitely roster him while Ben Simmons is no show at this moment. Kev.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Ben's not there, right? I think Maxey's going to be a good play there. I do like what he's bringing to the table in terms of rebounds, assists too. He's going to give you a bump there. And your free throw percentage, obviously, he has a shot a ton. But I love Maxey. I do think defensively he's a good pickup too, especially if you're in a Cats league. I like that pick. Again, I don't think Simmons is coach. The Simmons. I don't know if he's coming back soon. I think that there's going to be opportunity for Maxey and these other guys to kind of step up. So you got to keep an eye on that. So keep an eye on that roster, especially let's say Embiid goes down, which isn't, he's going to take some days off. His knee doesn't look 100% right. A lot of these guys are going to have to be asked to do a lot of different things, and you could see their categories just go up, up, up.
Yeah, and with that said about Embiid, Drummond, if you had him roster, you picked him maybe in the last couple rounds. It was a solid pickup. I think he had 17 rebounds, like 16 minutes the other day. And if Embiid does miss any type of time, Drummond is, according to Brad, the greatest rebounder of all time. But he is one of the best rebounders of this generation. I will say that, and he's a stat stuffer supreme as far as the rebounds, and he'll get you some blocks. So someone to keep an eye on. Somebody that you may have missed. I know I picked him up in one of my leagues. I missed him in the other one. This is rookie sensation, Dominican Republic stand-up, Chris Duarte of the Indiana Pacers, who right now is second in usage rate, 22%. He's second in the team in shot attempts, which just behind Malcolm Brogdon. He's shooting one more shot than Sabonis. But he's just a flamethrower to start his NBA career. He had 7 threes in his first game, and he's not afraid to put it up. He's NBA ready. Currently, in the first week, 20 points a game, 5 rebounds, a couple assists, a steal. So he's all around filling it up. He's not shooting a great percentage, but he ain't afraid to shoot. So, and nearly 4 threes a game. Category stuffer. And with Karis LeVert out, he is in. He should be on anybody's roster in any league.
I agree. I love Chris Duarte, right? Like we talked about him last year, and we had this, and I think that his shooting ability, I think he'll get his 3-point percentage up too. So I'm a big fan of that. If he gets that 3-point percentage up, we're going to see increase there, and with what he does. And like you said, as long as LeVert is out, like that's what you got to do really in fantasy. I think it's more labor inducive of just knowing who's out, especially there, and know who has the won't play in the back to backs. Everybody's got those rest days and stuff, and find these guys and pick up these guys off the waiver wire. And I will say the waiver wire is not that active, depending on the league you're in. So these are the guys that win you leagues right here. You just got to be more active than the other league mates. And I think that's what we're trying to get at. And we'll talk about there.
Absolutely. Another guy that is feasting off of injury and will do so for an extended period of time. Will Barton, he's rostered in 59%, according to Yahoo. He should be rostered in every league. Because he just gives you every category. These numbers that he's averaging in the first week, and this is on 33 minutes per game, 16 points, almost 7 rebounds, almost 6 assists. They put him in a pick and roll, a la Jamal Murray. When he's in, he dominates that side because him and Jokic have the best pick and roll in basketball. But Will Barton's no slug, and pride of Baltimore, Maryland, right here. He is quote unquote part of the Denver Nuggets future. He's a tough kid, and he shoots good percentages. And I think what opened my eyes in this first week is that he's making 3 threes per game, and he doesn't turn the ball over. So, Kev, your take on Will Barton?
Well, I was pissed because you grabbed Will Barton in our league that we had. I think you have to get him if he's on your stuff. You're gonna go grab him, especially with his points per game and what he's able to do. And that Nuggets team is gonna use him. They're gonna utilize him in that offense. So Will Barton's a good call for you. I like that call. I'm gonna talk about somebody real quick just so you don't steal him from me. And that's my boy Cam Reddish. I really like Cam Reddish. And you know what? I know Gallinari's out right now, but hey, I laugh every time I see Gallinari's out. He's always out. That dude's been out for his whole career. So he's had success. He's averaged 19 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 24 minutes per game, while knocking down 3 3-pointers in each contest that he's played. And this is the thing I really like. He has a 29% usage rate right now. He only trails Trae Young. So he's the second most used player on that roster. If that continues, and if he can do what he does, and his free throw percentage, when you're looking at what he can do there, if he can do this, he's going to keep Gallinari on that bench because they love Reddish. They use the lottery pick on this kid. So I think he's a huge one. He has a 4-game week coming up with some favorable matchups. I would definitely slam Cam Reddish right now in your league. And only 31% rostered is a travesty. Go get Cam Reddish.
And side note, Kev is a Duke fan, so he's always going to root for a Dookie.
I am a Duke fan, but that's besides the point. Okay, besides the point is like if Cam Reddish is 31% rostered is disrespectful, coach.
Small sprinkle on Barton. Pick him up today because he does play Monday and Tuesday back to back. That's something else that I look for on Sunday is who can play a couple games at the beginning of the week, especially if they're on the bottom of your roster bubbling. If you can get 2 games and then you make a decision on someone else. Now I don't suggest that with Barton. But someone like a Maxey who, whose production probably won't stay the same all season long. Now, I think that about Cam Reddish. I think he started off hot, and there's just so many people at that position or just around that position that are going to produce. You mentioned Gallo being out, and Cam is feasting because of this. I think Cam will have good weeks and some slumps as well. He's had some durability issues in his NBA career, as well as DeAndre Hunter, who's going to eat some of those stats. Like, who do I get for Atlanta? So you really got to pay attention who's hot, because Herter, when he's hot, he produces all around rebounds, assists, threes. So one piece of that puzzle is, Trae Young. If you had Trae Young in end of the first round, you are just smiling ear to ear because he got all of these weapons to pass to. So 24.5 minutes per game. You want like more of that. I like Cam right now. I think he's a hot pickup for week 2. So I am not mad at you for that. Now, a guy that went under the radar and last year was not getting enough minutes, but when he does get minutes, he produces at a high level. This is Ricky Rubio. Ricky Rubio is amazing, and he's had a great start to the season. Darius Garland rolled his ankle. He's been playing 33 minutes a game, 17 points this last week, 9 assists. We know how he fills up 9, but the big shocker here is he learned how to shoot the 3 ball. He's making 3 per game. We saw this in Olympics when it was Olympic Rubio. They just were giving him the ball every play, and he just was amazing. His connection with Evan Mobley is unbelievable. The Cavs threw out a 2-point guard, 3 center starting lineup yesterday with Mobley, Markkanen, Allen, Sexton, and Rubio. But Rubio, especially with Garland out right now, you need to roster him, and he's only rostered in 56% of leagues.
I like Rubio. I had him on my list on this. Now I think he's gonna continue to start, right? I mean, as long as Darius Garland is out. So
yeah, I think Garland is even when Garland's back, and he's coming off the bench, I think he's that first guard, and I think he'll stay a steady, hopefully 30 minutes per game for fantasy owners.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. I know we're gonna talk about him probably, but Evan Mobley. If Rubio is his biggest asset, right? So when you're talking about Evan, like his ability he's a pass first point guard, and you've already seen what Evan can do. And Evan's our guy. We talked about him a lot last season going into that, and I was a big fan of Evan Mobley. But if you look at what Rubio's doing, he's going to get the ball to him, and he's going to use that. I think his assist rate's there. He has a solid usage rate of 22.7% on his team right now. So I like that idea. Grab Rubio, use him if you need help for point guard. And I will say the point guard position can be difficult in fantasy. That's one thing I have found for basketball, like who you're going to grab. I saw like if you reached on Killian Hayes or something like that, maybe Rubio would be a better roster right now, just based like, especially if it's not dynasty.
Yeah, and Cat's Lee, he's a Cat King. He's high in assists. He always been getting steals, and now that he's hitting threes, Ricky Rubio, and he sprinkles in some rebounds as well. But you jumped ahead to rookie love, and I love it because Evan Mobley, I got him for $1 in our auction league, and I know everyone in our league is pissed that they didn't spend their $2 on him when Luka was like what, $96. Evan Mobley in 3 games averaging 16, 8, in 3 on 56% from the field, 2 blocks, a steal. I mean, he does everything, and he shoots such a high percentage. And they're running a lot of zone, putting him in the middle, and he just covers the floor so well. That's the reason why they can play these, 3 centers. I mean, Markkanen is a shooter, so they all have different skills, but his defensive ability to get all around the court makes that work. And Evan Mobley is already averaging his college numbers, which is just high producing. And if you have him, you are very lucky, because our rookie class is sensational, and we've seen people have some hot starts already. Speaking of hot starts, Desmond Bane of Memphis, a guy that was fringe all rookie last year. I think he just missed it. Right now he's averaging 30 minutes per game. He's rostered in 43% of leagues. With Grayson Allen out, it's seen an uptick in his minutes and his production. He was a really good 3-point shooter. We saw that last year. He's giving you 3 threes a game. Right now he's averaging a dub in that first week. So I think Desmond Bane is someone that should be rostered. He gets you some rebounds, and he shoots pretty good percentages. And the dude seems to have a connection with Josh. So I think Desmond Bane, a guy that no one talks about, but if you had him on your fantasy roster, you'll reap the benefits.
Yeah, I think it just kind of depends. I feel like he's a good ad. How consistent can he be? I think that's the key. And where does he pop up in that roster? It's kind of similar to your concerns with Reddish to me is with Bane. I think it's kind of the same concern there. I just want to lean on talent a little bit with Reddish, and then the draft capital they gave up to get him and all those type of things. But I like Bane if you're really struggling at that position. And again, point guard, shooting guard, like you said, that's a different advantage you would get from that based on that roster position.
Yeah, I think that they're in the same tier, Reddish and Bane, as tier 2. I think the Rubios, Bartons, and Duartes, those are you must add. You must. I think if there's more team, you're in a 12-team league, I think that Bane is a guy that should be on the bottom of a roster. So somebody should have him. A guy that I picked up in a couple leagues, Precious Achiuwa. And please, can you guys give this guy a center eligibility? He's small forward, power forward eligible, averaging 26 minutes a game. That's the important thing. Now, this is not like a season-long pickup, because I think when Pascal Siakam comes, you'll see that his minutes will drop a little bit, and his production will drop down as well. He had a game where he had 15 boards this week, so currently in that first week. 10 points, 11 rebounds, 3.5 assists. He's not shooting a great percentage, but he shot 54% last year. And guess what? He's shooting 1 3 a game. He didn't take a single one last year. He's a terrible free throw shooter. Somebody that has blocks ability. He hasn't given me a block. We saw him stuff KD in that USA exhibition versus Nigeria in the win. So he has that capability. 40% rostered. Just keep an eye on him. I'm probably going to cut him probably next week or week after that. But I also have Pascal on my IR chilling. So Pascal comes back. I'll probably make a move from him. But 11 rebounds in a game with 15, that's nothing.
Yes,
that's nothing to sniff at.
No, I mean, as long as he's going to get the minutes, right? And he had 15 points, 15 boards in 24 minutes on Friday against the Celtics, and then he had a 10 and 12. So you've noticed that he can do that. I've loved Precious Achiuwa. I have him on a couple of my dynasty leagues on my taxi squad still.
Okay.
And I do think that he's going to eat into his role. But right now, I mean, hell, you might as well go. He's playing Chicago, Indiana, Orlando, and Indianapolis again. So he's going to have a lot of games this week. You're going to look for that categories. I like it. I think that he's going to step up. I think he's going to show that he can actually be kind of a double-double guy. And he's just kind of that clear guy. I just wish that they would have the center ability. I think in Sleeper they do. So if you're playing on Sleeper, I believe in the Sleeper league I'm in, I think he's center eligible. I'll have to check right now. But if he's not, I still like him as that power forward role. I like Precious. Precious was a guy I liked coming into the draft 2 years ago. And I think in multi-category production, you're going to see that.
Yahoo, hook my boy up with a center eligibility. Same thing, ESPN. Now I know you are stingy over there at ESPN as far as players and flexibility, but give him center eligibility. Give Scotty Barnes some center eligibility. I thought you were going to touch on him because he has been super duper impressive to start. So some rookie love here. Scotty Barnes, great
Yes.
start, and a game with 25 points from a guy that's not known as a scorer is eye opening. But he really feels it all around in category leagues.
Yeah. No, hey, he's looked good there. Can I ask you what you feel like? What's I don't want to say going on with him, but Jalen Green, are you a little worried at all right now?
No.
Okay.
Did you see him try to boom? Who did he
I
try
did
to
see
dunk
him.
on yesterday? Oh my God, he was flying.
He tried to murder that guy's family and his life. I would say I'm not worried about him because he'll get it together.
He
I thought he
will.
had two very like ideal games against OKC and Minnesota, which I thought that would be maybe some coming out games. Only scoring 9 points is definitely not good enough for him. He struggled from the 3-point line, and we talked about that as a group last year when we did our breakdown. We said, hey, his 3-point percentage got to be better. 2-11 is not good enough. I just worry that people spend a pretty high pick on him, I think. I mean, I have him in our league. I got him for like, I think $8 in an auction or $6 or something like that. I got him for a pretty good price. I just thought he'd be able to score more points for out there. I think he'll come along. He's still a rookie, but I think it's fair to be like, okay, well, I think those are positive games. Now let's see what he can do next.
Yeah, 9 points. And I mean, this is a 2-game sample size. 9
Yes.
points, 3.5 boards, 3 assists.
They play the Celtics today. So
You're going to see an uptick in all of that, and you're not going to shoot 18% from the 3-point line the entire year. The kid is sensational, and he'll figure it out. I don't think Anthony Edwards came out the gate killing people. So don't cut him. If you're thinking, oh, he's got 9 points, don't cut Jalen Green. Jalen Suggs, his first game was like he shot like 3 for 13, and I was scratching my head. But then the next game, he almost had a triple double. I think he had like a 12, 8, and 9. So your rookies, that'll happen. Rookies will go up, rookies will go down, but this is a very strong rookie group, and they will produce. So keep on to some of the high names. Josh Giddey too. Like Josh Giddey's hasn't had a great start. He had 10 rebounds in the first game. But I don't know what's up with OKC because they were getting blown out the other day and they didn't play him. Can't play the rookies when you're losing. Come on, guys. I don't know.
Well, hey, Shai's not been good, right?
Shai?
I'm gonna call him Shai until he can he
Oh
can be
my
better.
God.
Okay? I'm calling him Shai until Shai, whatever. He is not. When do we start getting worried about him, Coach?
I'm not worried about him either. I think
Okay.
I mean rough start. They got like I just said, they got blown out. 29.5 minutes per game right now. He'll be fine. He's shooting
expect
15
more.
from the 3-point line. I expect more too, and I don't expect his play to dwindle. He's a kid that has improved every single year of his NBA career. Every year of his NBA career, uptick in points all around. He averaged 24 points last year per game, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. I think that he'll come back to earth. Do not overreact on Shai. And if you're another owner, try to pose a trade to get him. Rough start. You could get him for you can get him for a lower price right now. So
Yeah.
I'm not terribly worried about him. Now, one guy that I want to talk about since we've been doing some rookie love here. That's Franz Wagner. He's 18% rostered, but he's playing 33 minutes a game. He's found himself a role. He's like good at everything. He's got a good feel. He's only averaging 1 assist, 14 points. But the thing that makes my eyeballs open up is the minutes, and then the fact that we've seen him produce in steals and in blocks in college. And he can hit threes. So like category leagues, I take a look at him, and then especially if you're in one of those dynasty leagues that Kevin was talking about. Franz is a guy that I feel like will produce at the fantasy level for years to come.
Yeah, I like Franz. Especially on that Orlando team, you're going to see usage there. You're going to see what's going on there. Anyway, shout out to Mo Bamba. Want to give Mo Bamba a shout out. He's been playing
Goodness
pretty well, coach.
gracious.
So again, Mo Bamba's a guy out there. I know he's the most added player on the ESPN leagues that we're in. Right now, I think it's at 53% rostered. If you maybe can go get Mo Bamba, he's going to get garbage
There's
time
no way.
minutes. You're going to get garbage time minutes as well. He recorded a double-double, 15 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks in the loss against the Knicks. He's been impressive, and I think he's been playing with Carter. We talked about that on the center stuff. He's been playing with Carter. So now that opens us up a little bit, and now if Wendell Carter and him can kind of coexist in fantasy, that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a great fit for the Magic, but in fantasy, I don't care about that. I think that's a good thing that you get those minutes.
Well, and we've seen Suggs and Cole Anthony playing together as well, with Gary Harris going down. Orlando, as we know, is one of the worst teams in the NBA, but that doesn't mean you can't get some fantasy value. And I think Mo Bamba was the hottest pickup week 1 if you didn't draft him. He has a chance to lead the league in blocks per game, and he has 6 threes in the first week. So if you have Mo Bamba, you are smiling. You probably got that song on repeat when you're going into the car. So I'm actually playing against Mo Bamba this week, and he's single-handedly destroying me in blocks. And I'm kind of kicking myself because we talked about him in the center preview as far as getting him, and
I missed him too.
You whiffed. Yeah,
I wanted him bad, but I didn't pay up for him, and now it's hurting me. It's hurting me inside.
Completely understandable. So we've talked about some guys that kind of we wish we had. We talked about players you need to pick up for week 2. But I always like to talk about performances of the week. And who is your fantasy stud? Who do you got?
I'm going to go with Brandon Ingram. I like what Brandon Ingram's done so far, and I think with everybody being out on that team, what he's going to see, I think until Zion returns, he's going to be one of the highlights of that team. He's going to get the usage. His value's sky high, triple-double in the first 2 games of the season. I think that he's going to be able to do that. He's going to put up numbers, right? He had 30, 26, 25 this week. Rebounds as well. He averaged just under about 7 rebounds a game. Assists too. I know he had a big turnover game this last Saturday, but we don't like to see that. But again, I think that for him, I think that he's shooting, when you look at his 3-point percentage, everything is there. I'm a big fan of him this week. And I think as long as he's there, as long as you're looking at, he's shooting 46% from the 3-point land. As long as he's still playing without Zion, he's going to see a high usage, and I'll pound him all day.
Absolutely. So on the season, averaging 27 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists in the 3-game sample size, 49% from the field. I love Brandon Ingram. As a owner of him last year, I got him, I think, like the 6th round, and he was one of my better players all year round. So even with Zion on the court, he's kind of their number 1 option as far as getting that the person that touches the ball the most. So love some BI. Oh, and did Kevin Coleman just get another Dookie shout out?
Hey, it's not my fault. It is not my fault. Duke has all these massive players out there. Okay? It's not my fault. Just letting you guys know.
That's hilarious. All right, so my performance of the week is kind of twofold as we saw these guys heads up. First of all, Steph Curry. Now, first of all, Paul George, because there's going to be a little bit of slander. First of all, Paul George with a little preview of Steph Curry. Paul George, if you got him late first round, early second, that he was a hot person with, Kawhi Leonard basically gonna miss the whole entire year. We'll see if he gets back to his MVP type of stats, and I think that he's gonna bring it. He's the number 1 option over there for the Clippers. And in this past week, he averaged 35 points a game, 10.5 rebounds, 5 assists, he's shooting 56%. But the huge thing, 5 threes a game. Goodness gracious, like that'll win you that category. He had 41 and 10 in the opener versus the Grizz in an L, in which he called Ja Morant Prime D. He looks like Prime D Rose. Like that's a huge compliment, and Ja Morant's going bananas to start. But it's funny because he poked the bear with Steph Curry, and Steph Curry had the last laugh. Steph Curry started the game. This was on TV, and if you missed it, if Steph Curry's on TV and you don't watch it, there's something wrong with you if you are a basketball fan. So he had 25 in that first quarter, went perfect, 9 for 9. He ended with 45, and what Paul George is like, you're gonna shoot from the logo. He shot from the logo in the final minute and hit it like a three that won them the game. Yeah. 33 points a game. That this guy was my fantasy darling last year. I'm missing out not having him this year. 10.5 rebounds. That's crazy that he's grabbed that much. He's a small guy, 5.5 assists. His 3-point percentage is higher than his field goal percentage. He's almost a 43% 3-point percent shooter for his career, even though he shoots 11 a game. So 5 threes. He probably won you that category. 7 free throws a game. That's huge. And he doesn't miss. He has the greatest free throw percentage of all time. Shout out Steph Curry to my performance of the week.
Yeah, no, hey, Steph's done well. I had that. I know that we want to probably go to cut lists, guys that maybe we might want not to get there. I don't have a ton for this. I don't know about you. How do you feel about like just cutting dudes? I feel like you got to give them more than 1 week. But I will say I did cut one guy, Malik Beasley. I got rid of Malik Beasley. I'm out on Malik Beasley right now. He didn't have the greatest stat line, which you see. He's thrown up 6 points, 9 points, 4 assists. He does fill up some of the categories there, but I think he's with a healthy squad now. I think he's kind of moved down that pecking order a little bit. And hey, I missed on Anthony Edwards. That dude's a baller. I'll be the first to admit. And so I think with the usage rate you're going to see there, I think Beasley is definitely someone that you might be able to drop.
Yeah, and I'm a Beasley owner in one league, and I'm a Ant owner in the other. And Beasley is definitely on a fringe cut list, but the fact that he's such a potent scorer since he's gotten to Minnesota, I'm holding on to him for now. But cuts, I mean, you kick yourself in the foot when you cut a guy and then he ends up being, awesome on someone else's team. But I do make a lot of moves, and sometimes it kills me, but other times, having that flexibility at the bottom of your bench, it makes you make more pickups during the week, and then you get more games.
Yes.
And then maybe somebody falls in your lap, like a Chris Duarte, and you're like, wow, I got a solid starter on my team. So yeah, he's somebody on the fringe. I'm keeping him for now. Cut lists, easy ones. Thad Young, he's not in the rotation. He had a coach's DNP yesterday. And last year, if you had a fantasy over Thad Young, you loved it. You loved him because he produces all around points, rebounds, assists, steals, get you a block here and there. Enes Kanter, I got him in one of my leagues. I cut him immediately. I thought Al Horford having COVID, not being there, he didn't play a single minute in that New York Boston overtime game. And all they have is Robert Williams. They were playing Grant Williams at center over Enes Kanter, who is a walking double-double whenever he gets minutes. So that was a little disappointing. That was a quick cut for me. And then Goran Dragic was the starting guard for Toronto opening night. And he's a guy that gives you assists and threes, but he's always hurt. I'm done on the Dragic. I had him last year. I picked him up, cut him like 6 times. I can't do Dragic anymore. Gary Trent Jr. is the better option there. He gets steals. He hits threes and points. He doesn't really produce outside of that and doesn't shoot a greatly high percentage, but he's somebody that is fringe rosterable. I don't know, but I got to make a decision. Currently my team name is The World is Flat because I'm kind of like poking fun at myself for drafting Kyrie and spending $2 on him in the auction. Now, in ESPN, I'm doing backflips because I can put him on my IR. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. In Yahoo, I can't do anything with him. You can't do anything with Ben Simmons either. They're just killing me. Because this type of production of 27, 5, and 6, which what Kyrie did last year at shooting amazing percentages all around, hitting threes. He was the number 11 fantasy player in 8-cat leagues. I'm so close to cutting him. I'm holding on. I'm hoping Woj tells me like he had an epiphany, and he said, "You know what? The vaccine's actually good." And then he comes back, and all of a sudden I have a 1 seed at my point guard out of nowhere that I drafted late. But he is killing me. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. The public, are you done on the Kyrie thing? Are you cutting ties, or are you keeping him? Because I haven't seen a huge tick as far as his roster. I think he's still rostered at a high level on Yahoo.
No, I stay away from him altogether in the first place because I just didn't want anything to do with it. I think for $2, I think you can hold on to him for maybe another week and see maybe what's going on with Kyrie. See if maybe he wants to come back, especially if let's say the Nets, they lose a couple games, maybe they'll get a little bit of pressure from his teammates, like, hey, you need to come back there. But I would say after this week, if there's no news, there's nothing coming out, he's hard to keep on your roster.
Yeah, with ESPN, I don't have anybody else injured, so I'm keeping him there. We have 3 spots as far as the IR is concerned, but the Yahoo, that's the one, and he's 88% rostered in Yahoo all around. So 88% of fantasy players can understand my gripe here. So it's hard, but I think that wraps up our week 2 pickups. Talking some fantasy hoops. We're gonna give you one of these every week. It might be me, it might be Kevin, but hopefully we did something for you to have an advantage going forward. Thank you to all of our listeners. Please like, subscribe, comment, and we'll give you some love next week. Kev?
Yep. See you guys. Have a good time in your fantasy league, and make sure you're active. Try to be as active as you possibly can, and we'll be bringing this to you every week.